The following stream contains mature content and subject matter. Viewer discretion is advised.
That couldn't possibly go wrong.
My name's Brad, Timber Brad. Welcome to session 2 of our Delta Green. Please forgive my earlier issue. Shanky, the tech Shanky doesn't need to be sacked. All my bad. I push buttons. And I'll have my players introduce themselves.
Hello, everybody. I'm Urian, and I will be playing Special Agent Luther Doyle.
Hi, I'm Mischievous Red, and I'm playing Special Agent Caroline Carter.
Hi everyone, I'm Kai Glaciate, and I'll be playing Special Agent Carlos Saturn Gutierrez.
And quick recap: our agents got brought into the AT&T Long Lines building in New York City by an Agent Phillips, who wants you to investigate a series of UFO sightings, abductions, missing persons, and some dead. During your investigation, you guys got a text message. You each got a text message from an unknown source. And Luther decided to go and investigate the Seventh Son Welcoming and Info Center all by himself. Something tickled his brain, and then you guys decided to send Carolyn Carter to her doom. And as you guys had made this agreement, made it back to your hotel room and found a strange woman waiting in the hotel of your adjoining rooms with a gun in her lap, waiting for you. And I will let you guys take it over from there. What do you do?
Are we in the room with her now?
Yeah, so you guys had opened the door, had basically started like walking into the room, and it's kind of one of those, like, by the time you see her, she's like far enough away from the door where you guys are in the room.
Okay.
And I posted in our Discord the picture of the woman from last week. Players also have a copy of her, but that's what she looks like. Youngish Asian woman, like I said, I've probably around like mid 30s, early mid 30s. Um, Plain clothes, just sitting there. Yeah, and she's got a handgun sitting in her lap, and she's just,
Okay.
hello.
Oh,
Uh,
good evening. Which of you looking at the gun and her? Which of you plans to do the speaking tonight?
Oh, I wasn't sure what kind of reception I would get. And she takes the gun, puts the safety on, and holsters it.
yeah, so Saturn is not gonna do the talking. He's gonna look around, try and see if there are cameras, if there are anyone that's hidden. He doesn't trust her to be alone because the first thing that she showed us is a gun. So
That is a very fair question. Go ahead and give me a sig int roll. I just want to see because you're a
and
little under stress, so I want to see if with the kind of jarring nature of everything, if you notice
okay.
if there's anything.
Oh, so close.
I mean, you look around, nothing stands out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, looking for a wire, camera, something like that.
Well, you kind of have to expect us to do that.
You'll learn really, really quickly. There's a lot of things they don't like keeping records of, and clandestine meetings is generally one of them.
Hmm.
I'm assuming you all got my text.
We had no idea who they came from, but
They
yes.
who?
Who do you think?
There could be several. I don't know who you are.
Oh, you can call me Agent Ashton. And they are the people who brought you into this unfortunate set of circumstances. How much did they tell you?
They briefed us, well, briefly. We don't really have a whole lot of information, so we're kind of on our own to figure things out. We just know we have a very limited amount of time before the next incident is supposed to occur.
My guess would be someone's gonna get kidnapped tomorrow. Something like that.
Yes.
Did they tell you this has happened before?
Yes, they gave us a timeline.
Why don't you know what they've told us if you're with them?
Do you want the long version or the short version?
They probably just didn't think she needed to know. Yeah.
But why is she
Oh,
here?
no, unfortunately, I know more than they probably want me to. Suffice it to say, this organization, not everybody sees eye to eye on everything.
Hmm.
The folks that hired you or recruited you, they don't care what happens to the public at large. They don't care what happens to the three of you. All they care about is getting their hands on the aliens, which not sure what they've told you as far as that goes, but please be assured they are very much real.
Kind of got that impression.
See, I've been doing this for a long time. And for a while, let's just say we all didn't get along so well. Might even call it a bit of a war.
So more than a tiff.
Yes. We're not supposed to use the word, but some describe it as a schism.
Hmm.
But there are those who think that whatever ends justify the means, that the US citizen base is a bargaining chip as long as they can get information and technology from the aliens. Which,
Wow.
for a time, worked. And then the aliens decided, we're done. This all happened around 2001, which I'm guessing is when they told you the last time this happened.
I don't have that list on me right this second, but they give us a list of the last year or so.
They said something similar happened, but didn't give us details for
Right.
2001.
Mhm.
Yes,
They
in
lost all the records.
the organization restructured. Despite this, those of us who see the program for what it is, a machine that's willing to put every US citizen's life up for ransom in order to get a leg up on everyone else on the planet.
Hmm.
You could call
Okay.
us those who decided not to come back into the fold, could call us outlaws.
Hmm.
But suffice it to say, we may not have official government sanction like your handler. But as you can tell from our access to communications, that we are not without our own resources.
So you are not affiliated with Agent Phillips directly.
No, Agent Phillips and I, we know each other. We had a difference of opinions.
What does this have to do with us?
I'm going to guess they didn't tell you that some of the missing people are related.
Related to whom? I mean,
To you.
we've seen the list of names, and the thought did occur.
And the phone calls you made?
Hmm?
The phone calls you made. You understand you reached out on non-secure lines.
Yes.
Yes.
Remember,
And
I sent you text messages.
yes.
Oh, yes.
I don't think playing dumb is getting any of us anywhere.
Oh, okay.
No, they didn't tell us. How do you
uh,
know
she, ta-
/ why does it matter?
she tagged our phones. Simple as that.
Because this has all happened before.
This was the cause of the schism.
No,
Oh.
this was a problem that we thought was a fortunate side effect of the aliens disappearing. They had a deal with the government at the time. You help us, give us information, give us technology, and we'll cover up whatever you do. 2001, the government decided, let's renegotiate that deal. And the aliens left. No one's heard from them. No one's seen them.
You say
Go ahead.
I was going to let you finish.
No, go ahead.
You say they've left, but we have lists of missing people that have been abducted every month for the last year.
Were there abductions before they left?
Oh, yes. In a cycle, a 4-day cycle, exactly like it's happening now. It's not that they didn't know this was happening. You're just the next group to try.
Okay, seems like you have all the answers. To try what? If you have the information, you certainly know what the other groups did and how they failed.
As I'm sure you're aware, the government can be petty. They see that the aliens owe them something.
I was going to ask you, since you and Agent Phillips are not entirely in alignment with each other, we need to know, what exactly is your end game? What are you looking for from us? That is in opposition, of course, to what they want. I mean, why should we trust you?
I want these things out of my fucking city. I want them to go back to whatever backwater planet they came from.
Why is there not an in-between?
Because, unfortunately, the government, the program doesn't work in in-betweens. So their plan is to use you, and when / if you fail, the next group of victims, I'm sorry, agents, as bait to try and capture or
All right, so it's becoming more clear. Do you have information on how many other bait attempts have been made recently?
that I know of, at least 3.
And you're using us as bait as a means to scare them away?
No. Understand, I am not using you as bait.
Why are you
I
here? You want to.
am offering you information so you aren't walking into a trap you're not prepared for.
You seem to avoid a few of the questions. I would just like to get back to them just real quick.
Please.
Parsley, you said something about the relation of a few of those people with us.
hmm
How is that the case? Are they acting for the government, same as us? Were they asked to be paid? Was my cousin asked to be paid? Is that it?
Humans aren't the only beings, it seems, that are petty. All of you, at some point, have seen, heard, experienced things that the general public at large aren't necessarily privy to. If you think we can find that out, I guarantee you they can figure it out. They probably used these relatives as a way to ensure that people
Which
they
partic-
think may be problematic for them and their missions.
Okay, which particular group of they are you referring to? They, the government, or they, the aliens?
The aliens engineering your involvement.
I see. They have
How would
crazy foresight, it seems.
how would they engineer our involvement if the government's the one making decisions and they're not in contact anymore? Are they infiltrated?
That's a way you can describe it. We, and by we, I mean the outlaws. We're not entirely certain if there are humans that are being directly manipulated by the aliens, or if the aliens have some weird technology that allows them to pass as human.
No.
See.
I'll ask the question again. Why is it that we should trust you with our information and, oh well, essentially our lives at this point?
Why should we trust any information that you're saying?
I mean, in the end, I don't really care if you trust what I'm telling you or not, because you're already too far in.
No doubt. But what we need to know,
Mm-hmm.
though, is what are you getting from this? What why should we work with you rather than say the other ones?
Well, hopefully, we can stop whatever this plan of theirs is. The aliens. We're not entirely certain why they decided to show back up after over 20 years.
So, what can you tell us though about their motives, the aliens? I mean, what exactly is it they're trying to accomplish with these abductions? Which the people, the ones that do come back, they're missing various things from memories to organs. Do you have any idea what it is they're trying to do with that information?
Scientific experimentation.
Really? The easy answer?
We are lab rats to them. And the government is selling us to them wholesale.
So it's their intention that we get kidnapped or killed or whatever. The organizations, not the
The-
aliens.
The program's motive is likely to use you as bait to try and capture one of them as either some sort of bargaining chip or to perform scientific experimentation of their own.
Now, since we
Because
were,
if you can't make them fall in line, what else does the government like to do? If you step out of line, you either bend the knee or bite the curb.
Old switcheroo technique.
What do you expect us to? What do you want us to do then?
I want you to do what you were already going to do.
and we were. So why did you introduce yourself to us?
Because I felt you had a right to know what you were walking into.
And we are endlessly thankful for that information. But is there anything you can tell us about what we're about to walk into?
By my estimation with the cycle, someone will be abducted tomorrow.
Now, here's a question. Were these people that are on our list of abductees, were any of these previous teams sent to investigate? Or
Oh, no, every person on the list
Mhm.
has a relative who was recruited.
Recruited before or after?
Before or after what?
Before were the relatives recruited after the first one went missing, or did they go missing after they were after the relatives were recruited? Which happened first? Being
My
kidnapped or being recruited?
understanding was the kidnappings or the abductions happened first.
So the government's playing catch up.
Remember, the aliens took their ball and went home. And were operating, as far as we know, either under the radar or not here at all. My experience tells me they were probably here in hiding. But were very, very good not to get caught. Or at least to cover their tracks well enough.
Is there
Which
anything you
makes
can-
me think that they have people in the program still.
Is there anything you can tell us about what kind of technology they have and how we might be able to tell them if they are trying to assume human form? Any tells?
They're not the greatest when it comes to intuition. It's a very human concept. Very unilaterally logical. When in doubt, something about their speech pattern can be a little off. Something about their rationale for doing certain things sometimes seems a bit off. Keep in mind, if these are puppets, they're not human, which means hopefully something will give them away. But again,
your rationale for helping us doesn't make sense though. Like
why?
you're telling us this information out of the goodness of your heart? I
No.
don't understand how it benefits you.
Because there aren't a lot of us on the outside. My hope in the end, realistically, cards on the table, is that you survive.
I
And
see.
if you see that what I've told you isn't a complete load of horseshit, maybe you can join us.
Oh,
Oh,
yes.
so this is recruitment.
The old recruitment tactic.
So you want double agents of your own, I'm guessing. You want us to stay and feed you information.
Schism, right?
I don't need your answer now. Like I said, this thing is happening on a schedule. Someone will go missing tomorrow. And the real party begins on the 30th.
Again, is there anything? Do you know of any of their specific abilities? I mean, can they? You say intuition isn't exactly their thing, but do they have any abilities that could cause us to?
Let's see. They can pretty much remove any and all internal organs without needing to cut. They can
That we've been
essentially
informed about.
phase in and out of existence pretty much at will. They can alter people's memories. They can control people.
Okay. And you're saying that the government knew all this and sent us anyway.
The
You're telling-
government was. The program wants you to go into this blind. Because what rational person is going to walk into a situation where the likelihood of them getting killed is realistically astronomical?
I see.
You're not telling us anything we haven't already figured out, though. How do we know you aren't also hiding things? We don't know what we don't know.
She takes out a small notepad, pulls out a pen, writes something down, hands you a piece of paper, and it's an address. You don't have to take my word for anything. This is a safe house. This has any and all supplies you might need. Consider this a gesture of good faith. Unlike your puppet master,
Mhm.
what you see is what you get. No begging for requisitions and bureaucratic paperwork. Granted, our pockets are not as deep, but they are, I assure you, full.
Okay.
We got into this, those of us who are still around, to try to be the last hope for humanity in the increasingly hostile universe.
There's more than one set of aliens.
Aliens aren't even the half of it.
So there is more you're not telling us.
For example, where the other groups failed.
Yes. Do you have information on the previous bait attempts failures so that we have some idea going in what not to do or what we could expect to have them try?
I will tell you this. Whatever you do not eat or drink anything they offer you. Our best guess is that is part of how they control people. We haven't been able to confirm it because the trace tends to disappear almost as quickly as it shows.
And I'm going to go out on a limb here and I'm just going to assume that all your cards are face up and tell you that I had an experience yesterday. We started doing some investigations, and I went to the Seventh Sun,
Okay.
and we attempted to have some covert surveillance when I went in, so that the other two could see what was happening. They have some sort of blocking technology that prevents any sort of signal coming out. And while I was in, one of them did offer me a drink, which I refused. But from what you're saying, how do I even know that my memories are accurate as to what happened within, since my other team members can't corroborate what I had experienced?
I mean, would you rather I just put a bullet in your head right now?
Not just yet.
Because I can't give you any sort of I can't give you guarantees. Because
Okay.
the honest answer is I don't know.
Have you ever
It is
experienced,
go ahead.
do you have any experience of any other previous teams getting compromised and any behavioral quirks that might show?
The compromised, there's a big difference between humans who are compromised and puppets that appear human. Compromised humans, well, basically, they are like sleeper agents. Essentially, they can just be activated. They will act completely normal until they don't. So,
See.
it's entirely possible that you're in their pocket. So, again, would you like me to just shoot you now?
Not at this moment, thank you. But keep it in your pocket.
I mean, you're the one who's been dealing with them longer. It's just as likely you're a sleeper.
Oh,
More so, even.
it's absolutely possible. This could all just be some elaborate trap.
After all, they have an incredible amount of insight to detect people that might be problems and kidnap their relatives. So to
They
ensure the
are
government.
a super advanced alien race. I don't think a little bit of planning is beyond their ability.
Exactly. So that raises a question. How do you propose that we deal with them? Do you think a schism in the government, an attempt to, I don't know, try to not engage with them will be enough to deter their presence so they leave?
I think that in the previous raids, both in 2001 and recently. It seems that there is some sort of ritual that's being undertook. They are at their most vulnerable during the ritual.
I see.
You know anything of the nature of their vulnerability? I mean, are they meat that's susceptible to kinetic interference?
You mean, can you shoot the shit out of them?
Yes, that is what I was asking.
I mean, it's certainly possible.
Okay.
Realistically, it's more likely that in 2001, the only reason the ritual stopped was because the aliens left. They were not stopped. They just stopped themselves. They took their ball, they left. And as far as our research, our investigations, they haven't tried it again. So when the sightings started again, and the abductions started again, and then the people showing back up without memories, without organs, dead or missing, radars got raised fairly early. So they've known about this for a while. I don't know how long the ritual is supposed to go. I don't know what the end goal of the ritual is, but they seem adamant to complete it this time.
How do you know
However,
that?
they are less careful about their visibility.
But considering they're so much more advanced than us, why would they care at all? What is it?
Exactly.
I mean, what are they trying to do by doing this in secret?
Exactly. They, whatever is going to happen, I feel that they must be near completion. For all I know, that 20 years was spent putting this plan in motion.
Okay. I am out of questions.
So, what would you have us do next?
Do what you've been doing. Investigate. Try and find a way to get into the gathering. Find their temple.
I think we have a lead on that.
And you need to be ready to strike fast and hard. Should you feel like you need backup,
I was about to ask that.
our cell would be more than happy to assist.
Now, how would we get in contact with you? I mean, you had sent us texts, but despite our efforts, we couldn't determine your identity or how to get back in touch with you.
She kind of smiles and pulls a burner phone and passes it to you.
Mhm.
It's already programmed.
Okay. Just the one? I mean, in case one of us falls, we still have a means of contacting you.
I mean, we're not made of money. I
Fair
said our
enough.
pockets are full and they're not deep.
Fair enough.
The only way they stay that way is not spending on burners every time somebody dies.
You mean you're not
Just
like the government with limitless pockets?
not like that.
That's a joke.
Haha.
Well, perhaps we can work with you.
Perhaps. But we all have to be in agreement for that.
Mhm.
And he looks at Caroline.
I mean, to find work with, nothing we do changes either way. For now, just matters at the end. I'll be honest, I don't trust her. I don't trust them either.
Yeah.
Good. My experience, the less you trust, the longer you live.
Now, say we're successful at disrupting this ceremony or ritual, and we bring one of them down, or more of them. Should we contact you for retrieval?
If we're gonna be there with you, we
Well, if you
will already
okay.
be there.
Or should we assume that you'll be present, just not that we know?
It's probably safe to assume.
So, you may have said this, and I apologize if I missed it. But if we bring you one,
Oh,
what are you gonna?
we don't want them. We want them gone or dead. Period.
So you just want us to survive and get information from this. What happens to whatever aliens there are doesn't matter.
Oh, my goal in this is to disrupt this operation. This Temple of the Seventh Sun isn't new. In 2001, it was called the Church of Imperial Insight. Let me guess. The gentleman who leads it calls himself Amen or Ammon or something like that.
Yeah. Some flavor of.
If you know who he is and you don't like that he's dealing with
That's
aliens.
the problem. We know names.
Ah.
We've never seen this guy.
Hmm.
But let me rephrase this. Nobody who has survived has seen him. The rituals that we've been able to infiltrate up till now, the teams have failed.
I see. So
At this point, I'll pull out the papers that I had that I got from the Seventh Son fellow, which I can't remember his name that I talked to.
Wanted to say it was Avery.
Okay, let's say it was Avery.
It was something to that effect. Yeah.
And here's the details of the meeting and when and where. Was planning to go.
You still should. But this is good information. Because we know when it's going to happen. We know where it's going to happen. Which gives us a day for recon. So they don't have complete home field advantage.
I don't understand how you didn't have this information. It was just a pamphlet they gave him. Unless you're not going anywhere near it, in which case you're still using us as guinea pigs.
Oh, yeah.
They know who we are. It's a lot harder for us to just show up, which is why we have to recruit.
You didn't recruit us, though. They know about the government one, too. In fact, they had more reason to be pissed at the government one. And yet we were able to just walk in.
Do you want to know why that is?
Yes.
Because we're targets.
It's because you're puppets.
I assume you mean puppets from the government.
Sure.
Hmm. Okay. So, just to summarize this whole thing, you came here, gave us a lot of information that we already knew, but some of that we didn't. Fed us a lot of don't trust the government speak, and advised us to follow exactly the same plan we're following. Right? So,
I would say I reinforced information that you had.
mm-hmm.
I gave you more information than was given to you previously,
Mm-hmm. Yes.
and am trying to offer you a way to make it to the new year.
Okay. Okay.
Because I promise you, regardless of how this turns out, the new year's not guaranteed for you.
I see. Don't sound like someone that doesn't care about we believing in you or anything, but yes, I quite get what you're saying. Yes, that we should, I don't know, keep on planning or almost suicide mission.
I'm just a firm believer, and then the best way to solve a problem is with as much information as possible. You guys didn't have all the information you needed.
Sure.
Realistically, you probably still don't, but you have about as much as I can give you.
Okay. Do we have any other questions for her?
I think we've covered pretty much everything for the moment.
Yeah.
Now, is
Well,
this burner phone good for more than one use? I mean, in case we discover something and feel we should tell you or need to ask you.
it can be.
Well, thank you for surprising us and giving us more than we had.
Not shooting
Yes.
us.
You know, that too, that ranks up there pretty high.
That was very kind.
My offer stands. If you're still unsure, I'm always willing.
Well,
And she kind of gives like a wry smile and then just like moves for the door. And if you choose, Tell Agent Phillips I said hello.
Might hold off on that for a bit.
It's probably a good idea.
And should we need to talk to you, how should we refer to you? Do you have a cover other than your regular agent name that you'd like us to use?
Agent Ashton's fine.
Okay.
Well,
I hope to
it's a
hear from
pleasure.
you. And if not, I wish you all the luck in the universe, as you will need it.
Well, good evening then.
It was a pleasure.
And she walks out. Doesn't look back. She seems completely. Give me, because I know you guys all love rolling, and you
Yeah.
guys all have such high human
Oh.
scores.
Oh yes.
Give me a human roll.
All right.
I read that
Let's-
backwards and almost thought you did something great there.
So I'm not sure what I did with the character sheet. Hang on just a sec.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay. So humint, right?
Yep.
Okay.
The skill that none of you put anything into.
I mean, we didn't get any successes last time, even if we did have the skills. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, nothing about like the way she was acting, as far as you can tell. Like, she was trying to be as genuine as she could without, obviously, in any sort of like covert operation. There's always going to be information you're not told, like a need to know thing. Doyle, you would know this. But there's nothing about the way she handled herself where she was trying to be intentionally misleading. It was just she may not have been able to tell you everything, but you have no way of knowing if that's just because she was telling you the truth or she's just really good at lying to you.
Okay.
Yeah. So once she's gone, what do you guys do?
search the room.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Gonna
now
search.
now that you guys have more time, and with Saturn's experience with like technology, Doyle's experience with covert surveillance, you guys do a thorough sweep of both rooms. Nothing.
Okay.
You think we should take her at her word? She
No.
No.
playing as an ulterior motive. She's playing just like our other handler.
Oh yeah. Cheers. At best, if we can believe pretty much everything she said, that sounds like a petty squabble inside the government agency for me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think she explicitly lied to us, but I think she was withholding information.
A
'Cause
lot of information.
Even with the ritual, for example, we asked how many times before then what she wasn't telling us,
Mm-hmm.
and she didn't mention anything about that. But I bet she knows what the ritual's for too.
Yeah, she seemed to know everything that was in the burned database from before 2001. But surely she was making sure that we didn't know anything from that.
I found it
Yeah.
interesting. Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say we only got as far information as we could because it kind of worked her out into a logical corner. So she couldn't tell us pretty much nothing and have us cooperate with her.
So I found it interesting when I asked her if they were going to be there with us but unobserved by us at this ritual. And she said we should assume that they are. Now, does that mean they already knew the meeting time and place? Or was he just leading us on?
I think it means regardless of our choice, they're going to keep an eye on us.
Oh yes, absolutely.
I think
I
the
would.
fact
Mhm.
that they tapped our own phones shows that. She
Mhm.
was even here. She knows where we're staying. They're going to
Yes.
follow us no matter what we decide. We're just her pawns too.
Yep. And in the end of the day, it doesn't even really matter if they're listening in on us or not. We have a course of action. They know the course of action. We don't have other options. So,
So we go to the meeting. Let's say we see something. What are we doing?
that's a good question.
Are we being heroes and trying to stop it? Are we calling someone else?
Well, she seem to have wanted us to take whatever action we could. She didn't promise us anything. You know, anyone else coming in to shoot the place up or save the day. She was leaving that
Oh,
up to us. Um,
no. I think that I would chalk it up into the bullshit bin.
mhm.
That is, okay, you can try and do things differently for us. Please be heroes. We are going to back you up. No, there's no backup.
They're going to be there and they're going to watch,
Exactly.
just like the government.
They're going to take the opportunity. If they are going to be actors, they're going to take the opportunity as a distraction to do something. But that raises another question, though. That's actually the question that you did, Carol, Miss Carter. What do we do?
Do we play the in-between?
What would you
Obviously,
say?
I don't think we should I don't know how you all feel about aliens or even the possibility about them, but I don't think that we should send them packing. I don't think that we should experiment on them.
Well,
I
if they're
don't
anything near as powerful and intelligent as we've been led to believe by everything everyone has told us, there's not a whole lot we can do about it. They're going to be here if they want to, or they're not going to be here if they don't want to.
In my mind, there's only a risk that this fighting makes it worse.
I mean, we don't know how they deal with frustration. If we somehow miraculously did thwart this ritual, what would happen? We know what happens if they go through with it. Another person dies.
No, because the
But-
ritual was longer. All the deaths lead to a conclusion of the ritual.
And what is the ritual?
I don't know.
Yeah, we have no
How
idea.
many people dying? It's the lead up to it.
Well,
And if they are experimenting with
Well,
our
not all of them have died, though. I mean,
They've
some
been
of them are
negligence and amnesia,
right.
that's the part
and it's
of
escalating.
me. Yeah, because if they are starting with memories and then they take other organs, and the last one took the heart or something,
Mhm.
what's the next step?
For all we know, the ritual could be completed with this one.
Or
I
we
mean,
know
my
they could-
guess is
Hmm?
the brain's left.
the brain.
After that, either it ends with the brain or maybe there's one more.
That's the thing. I'm not that big in biology, but if I can remember my middle school books right, pretty much every internal organ is kind of similar.
Handler, can I make, I don't know, like either an occult role or like a biology role or something in between to kind of see if I can figure out where this ritual could be going / how many more times.
I would like to make this role as well. I have a
Sure.
lot of occult.
I'm not going to make
Yeah,
that
I'll
role.
let you use either of those.
My job is to break things, not know how they work.
Oh, damn. That's a great roll.
Holy crap.
Yes, finally something that went right.
That's still a success.
Logically, the escalation of the missing body parts, kind of going for the heart. At first it's as far as you can tell, like all of the reports came back that they were severely anemic. And then there were some missing organs. And then like the severity of the organs are kind of escalating. It is absolute logical, some may even say a bit of intuition, that it probably seems whatever they're doing is close to an end, and a logical jump would be the brain is next.
And so Saturn goes.
And it's
Wow.
probably the culmination of the ritual.
Saturn goes, well, if we are the guinea pigs, the most complex thing that we have in our whole bodies is the brain. And yeah, they might be concluding it. Are we really not going to try and do something? Because someone's gonna be taken out.
I think we have to. I'm
Yeah.
not saying we don't. I think either of those groups have really anyone's best interest in mind.
But theirs
But their own.
does. Yeah.
So no one's looking out for people. No one's looking out for Earth. And I don't want to be a hero, but I guess someone's got to.
We don't need to go there, guns blazing, things like that. It was a very valid question, Sir Doyle, about killing them with a gun. But honestly, that should be the last resort.
I agree that it needs to be an option left on the table.
I wonder if we could get a sample of the water or food
I mean,
and maybe do some like testing on it.
to try and resist the effects.
Try and resist. I mean,
Cure?
maybe even use it against them somehow if we could give it in an alternate form.
Sure. And I was thinking a lot more earthbound, one could say. What if we caused a fire during the ritual and disrupted it that way? Made the fire departments, the whole boot Cabuzo and Shabango about the whole thing, because they are wanting to keep this secret and low, right? Acting like the government. The worst thing for the government? Attention.
I mean, that probably would stop the ritual too. I'm not necessarily someone who's good at setting fires in a way that I could break something that intense down and actually potentially bring it to a halt.
I wasn't thinking setting fires, actually. That could risk pretty much everyone around there. Sending false alarms that a lot of fires are spreading, and also sending false alarms to the media is very much more in my lane.
See, but I don't think that I don't know if, yes, the government cares if it's quiet. And so does the whatever they called themselves, outlaws. I don't think they care, but if we don't know if Seventh Son cares, they might want more people there. I'm not fully convinced that they're there, that they said they didn't go because they recognize them. I think they didn't want to go because they didn't want to be at risk.
Yeah.
No, you're maybe getting a sample. There was a lot of water that they were handing out at the info center. Not really want. I don't really want to go back there, but we could. I guess we could try going back and see if we get some of it. I mean, maybe it's just like an innocent spill on clothes or something. I mean, certainly not going to drink it. What do you think?
Mm. I am not really into the covert stealing type of action.
We would need to make sure that we have some sort of use for it. I mean, I don't know, maybe there's a way of neutralizing it somehow. Or reversing it, even.
Okay.
If that has something to do with controlling people, which it sounds like it does from what Agent Ashton said, it could also have something to do with memories. And so if we reverse it, maybe people will have memories back. Maybe they won't be able to, maybe they'll be able to resist better, and we have a stronger likelihood of actually being able to stop whatever it is. I don't think that's the only plan we should have, but I think it's a
Okay.
potential.
So, if we are to organize what we have to do, we have to, in up to 1 day, prevent this sacrifice happening. And to do that, we have to guarantee this ritual with the seventh son isn't concluded. There's probably an alien or aliens are going to show up in there, so rationing guns blazing, not an option. At least not the first option. What we have as options are 1, try and distill some sort of serum to counteract whatever mind control bullshit they have there. 2, try and create a diversion so big that whatever happens in that ritual, it's not possible to happen. Do we have a third option?
A counter ritual? Stop
Counter
the
ritual.
ritual itself?
I don't even know what the ritual itself is to have to try to counter it,
I mean,
unless we can get that information from Ashton.
Unless
you were going to hack their system, Saturn.
I can
You think-
try, but whatever they're doing in their systems, not something standard. Haven't seen anything like that. And there's
You'll have to
always
be
the
inside, likely too. I didn't
exactly.
even think about that. But we have to go inside to get a sample.
So the suggestion is the 3 of us go inside.
At least the 2 of us. I don't know.
Doyle has been already seen there, yes.
Right. Yeah.
I don't think they'd mind if you brought us. I think they'd love that.
Well, that was part of what I had talked with Avery about, because I said, could I bring a friend to this gathering that they're going to have? And he was more than interested in having me bring whoever I wanted. So, I mean, maybe if you guys want to go in and under the guise of getting more information about what the Seventh Son is about, you say, I told you about it, but you really want to know more, or something like that. Some reason to go in.
Maybe you tell them that you work in security and ask if they need any assistance with security for the event.
That's
and use that as like a way to potentially cause a distraction. You will know more about what's going on, and you'll know where the weak points are.
That's a great idea.
And while you're doing that, me and Dr. Carter can try and get a few samples or information in their systems. If I can crack the code from the inside, I can use it outside. And if all of us get out, we can get out the information that we need from outside, both with the sample and the systems.
Okay.
So we're all going. And then, however that works out, I think the safe house probably does have stuff we could use. I don't know what, but for example, it might have something to help with figuring out a reversal of some sort. It might
Something.
have, I don't know, some alien technology that they managed to get their hands on. I don't know, but we don't know what we
Honestly,
don't know.
thinking any computer parts that might help with getting their systems might be good.
Do we think we want to go there first then?
Yeah.
Saturn, knowing that whatever they have that prevents surveillance from any emissions from inside, do you think it would be helpful for you to examine the building from outside, maybe from some distance? Can you tell exactly what it is they're using to prevent?
Handler, can I perhaps try and guess something that might be causing that system interference with my knowledge, or perhaps with my memory of seeing this building from the outside? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you can do. Let me see what you have.
Computer science,
Um.
alertness.
Yeah. So computer science. You're doing computer science.
Okay. Yes.
But yeah. So there's. I mean, it sounds like the way he's there. You know, everything that happened sounds like it's a signal jammer of some kind. Um. Typically happens. Yeah, if they need to, keep information from getting out or coming in. But usually, there's got to be, some sort of, I forget what the actual term for it is, but essentially, there is something that is emitting this signal that's blocking any other signals from getting in and out.
Assuming it's not some type of weird technology, some sort of signal jammer might be causing it. If that's the case, getting in is vital. There's
And then
nothing I can do from the outside.
as soon as Saturn kind of brings it up, Luther, from your background, it's exactly what this sounds like. Is some sort of signal jammer. You would know about these things from like your spec op days.
Right. That sounds like some of the technology I've seen in use in various places. Um, I was really wondering, if this is like terrestrial technology or alien, but let's hope that it's just earthbound stuff that we can figure out.
Yeah.
But yeah, it does sound like we all need to go in.
So, safe house, see if they have anything useful, and then we're going in.
Yes.
What time of day is it at this point, Handler?
I mean, it would be late in the night because you guys had kind of done everything on the 28th, and we're going to the hotel. So this is like making a game plan for the next day.
Okay.
Perfect.
So I would imagine it's like the very end of the night, and then you guys will go to sleep or try to go to sleep or just lay there or whatever. But as you guys make the game plan, we're gonna use this to go to break. And we'll see you guys in 10. And we're back. So you guys managed to go to your rooms, probably a little warier given everything that just happened. How do you guys think your agents would have slept?
So I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Carolyn probably would have asked to either sleep on the couch or the floor in the guys' room.
Okay.
Because she's afraid. To put it mildly. So yeah, she wouldn't want to have been in a room by herself.
Luther would have slept just as solid as a rock. He's been through this kind of stuff and physical combat. It's not a big deal to him. There was no threat.
Saturn would probably have given Carter his bed and stayed in the couch, mostly trying to prepare any type of programming that he might have to keep in hand to act quickly whenever they are inside there. So sleeping came as naturally as exhaustion to him.
And I almost imagine just because your rooms are adjoining, it would have been easy enough to just like pull the mattress off of like one of the beds and then just kind of like move it in. So, you know, even if someone has to like sleep on the floor, there's like a mattress or whatever. But it's absolutely.
I would have slept on the floor. It's not a problem.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, yeah, with the adjoining rooms. Yeah. So
Sure.
perfect. So yeah, uneventful night. When you guys wake up, what are you guys gonna do first? I know you guys were talking about doing the safe house. Is that still the plan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you go to the address and they give you, it is 126 East 27th Street. And when you see it, it looks like just there is no way walking by this thing that you would think it's anything other than random New York City apartment. There's like an entry door, and when you there's like the door straight to the outside. Nothing looks off. You make it in. There's like that little apartment building foyer entry, and then you see door. It says 127 on it. Or, I'm sorry, 126. And it has a lock on it. And Luther Luther and Saturn, both of you would see. This is like a state of the art, like biometric lock. And none of you were given any sort of instruction on how to get into this place.
Right. Yeah, she didn't give us a key or anything.
So what do you do?
Is it like a finger biometric lock? Like a fingerprint?
Mhm.
Carolyn tries to open it.
None unlocks.
Oh, would you look at that? They also have a fingerprints.
And
You're really surprised.
door opens. And the dissonance between the hallway and this room is immediately noticeable. Luther, you would recognize these kinds of setups as being like a safe house kind of thing for like spec ops. Like if you ever had to do somewhere to kind of like stage a base for operations, this is kitted out very similarly. There are essentially like big ammo and weapon crates. There are different like cabinets and all sorts of electronic screens and everything. Basically, it looks like this is a base of operations for a small unit. And nobody else is in there.
Oh, I'm away from home.
Is there cameras inside?
Mhm.
No,
But
like
no cameras outside.
I see. Like, is there cameras like surveilling this room?
Yeah.
The
And
inside
put
of the room?
pointed inwards, not outwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's cameras inwards, but not outwards.
Okay. Yeah.
Very nice.
I imagine they'd already know we're here. Seeing Saturn looking at the cameras, I imagine they know that they have a sensor on the lock that notifies them when it's used. So
Yeah.
And I mean, it's also New York. There's probably surveillance cameras or something across the street. So it's not, that they could tap into that's not making this abundantly like noticeable to anybody who accidentally walks into this hallway. And I
in
would
the
say you
room,
would easily notice that with your guys's um, technology expertise and then like operations expertise that
in the room, is there enough stuff to potentially like reverse engineer any drug that we find?
So you find like a portable like lab equipment. So like you could do like some like a quick analysis of some stuff if you needed
Okay.
to. Doing a cursory search of the place. Saturn would recognize that there is technology here that is like beyond state of the art, like things that the government would theoretically have been testing, that the public in general wouldn't have access to. Some of this stuff would be familiar to Luther, some of it's even beyond him.
While they're looking at the equipment, doing a search around on the physical premises, are there any other entrances or exits or windows?
Nope. Not that you can tell.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, so we grab everything that we think that might be useful. We keep it stashed in the car, and we keep running the car as soon as we grab a sample, so we are not so easily tracked by whoever is from this place. Sounds like a
So
plan?
I take that back. So I'm gonna say with your survival, there is what looks like a trapdoor, which is probably like an emergency exit.
Okay. I make note of that.
Okay.
I don't think all of the technology is portable, right? Just some of the things.
So basically, like you could bring stuff back here to do like examinations on. Like it's portable, like it's not like a full lab, but it's portable in like the idea that you could bring something back here
Yeah.
and do
Got
like
it.
tests on it.
Okay.
And Saturn's expertise with the computers would tell you that the computers that are kind of like hooked up to it, which also have biometric locks, which surprise you guys can access.
Yay.
With all of these, I mean, like there is no want for power in these machines. Saturn, you actually find a laptop that somehow is better than yours.
No, I found finally my second laptop that I was missing.
Oh yes, no. So yeah, so anything that was taken from you, while you were being black bagged was given back to you. This
Oh
is
no! I'm explicitly
Making a joke.
saying
Oh, you're
that
saying
I
you're
am
taking it
stealing
and
this
gotcha.
one.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's mine now.
I was saying it was being freely offered, and you say you were stealing it. 100%
Yes.
gotcha. Okay. So
Is
yeah.
there I was gonna say, is there like a section of like stuff that's like typically taken on like a recon mission? Like, I don't know, like I think of like they have like flashlights, handguns, tasers. Like in movies, they have like a section like that. I imagine they have a section like that here.
So there are weapon and ammo crates which will all have like small handguns, ammunition, any sort of like tactical equipment, because this is both a restock for, again, like a small cell
Any
of
encrypted comms, earbuds, anything
Yeah.
like that?
Yeah.
Say this can be useful for us, so we can keep in contact with each other.
Okay, so we take the comms.
Mhm.
Imagine we take cameras if there's something that's disguisable.
Mhm.
I would like to suggest that we also take some gas masks and things like that. We don't know if they have something that can be in the air.
Like, yeah, any with like I for the sake of expediency, you have somebody who's been on a lot of spec ops missions before. Two of you who have not. Luther, with your history, you absolutely anything that you think you would normally have taken on like a spec ops like recon mission or whatever is available.
Okay.
Obviously it's not like the like active war zone endless amounts
Right.
of everything, but there is a reasonable amount for what you assume to be a short mission, given that
mostly
you're
covert
a
mission.
couple of days. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
do you want us to just like, since we have that knowledge, just say that we grab supplies and assume competence?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Just because I don't want you guys feeling like you're going to forget stuff. You have somebody
Yeah.
who has done this professionally. And again, one of the things I love about this system is with backgrounds and stats, there's enough of it, and you guys aren't on any sort of
Rush.
specific time crunch, because you kind of know what your window
Mhm.
is.
Is there anything in here that doesn't look man-made?
Yes.
Okay,
You
everyone
don't know.
investigates.
Let me specify. So there are things that could be man-made, but you have never seen anything like them.
Okay. Saturn also investigates and trying to guess what those things are.
Even with all of your knowledge, you haven't the foggiest.
And it's here for us.
Like it doesn't seem to be anything that you can take with you.
Oh, we can't.
No,
use
no,
it.
no. It is not portable.
I see.
It seems to be like wired into the frame of the building.
I see.
Does anything scream alien about the technology?
It screams not. I don't want to say yes, but not no.
I can make a roll if you need me to.
Sure.
So I have planetology, which might be like recognizes things that are like from external areas. If it's like non-earth minerals, things like that.
Okay.
Could also go to
Well, let's go with that then.
okay. Hey, that's a crit.
Yeah, this is definitely not standard like Earth technology. Like nothing you've ever seen or heard of. Like the composition makes no sense to you. It looks like it could be something a person would make, but and it is also again not portable. And whatever this is essentially like somehow like amalgamated with human technology.
It's reverse
and
engineered and
and wired into the house.
Okay. Luther, didn't you say you don't believe in aliens?
I never said I didn't believe in them. I believe they could be possible. Whether they're here or not, I couldn't tell you from before. And it's looking more like they are now. But
Yeah, I was gonna say, how do you explain this tech?
right.
It's
Go ahead.
It's the kind of thing that makes me think perhaps that will be useful once we get the samples.
I'm going to say it's like early or like late morning. And Luther, you get a call on your encrypted phone.
Okay. And I go to look at it. Do I see who it is?
It just says handler.
Okay. All right, I'll answer it. Doyle?
Hey, it's Agent Phillips. Just calling to see how everything's going, but also to tell you that uh, the cycle is indeed on schedule. We just got a report of a missing honor student named Riley Richards.
Okay.
Fits
have any-
the MO of the other abductions.
Do you have a picture?
Yes. And he'll send it to you. It's a college student, long dark hair, not quite nerdy, not quite like attractive. Looks just like completely like average. Um,
Physical condition? Fit? Not fit? I mean, would it be a specimen that they might be interested in compared to like what we think the other ones were?
I am going to give you, based on the conversations you've had, a bit of insight. She's an honor student, and you're concerned that the brain is next. Anything you can see is probably not what they're after.
Okay.
Like, she doesn't look sickly or anything, but yeah, it's probably not her the majority of her body
Okay.
that they're after, given your suspicions.
Right. Okay, that confirms what we were thinking. All right. Well, we do have plans for later this afternoon. We have a
Awesome.
site to investigate.
Yes.
Did you guys find out anything about like what it's we've got sometime between today or tomorrow and the 30th, or today and tomorrow, and then maybe hopefully she shows back up alive on the 31st. But any ideas?
There is an event that's scheduled that we were planning to attend to surveil. It might be at that point, but we're not sure yet. We still have some investigation to do.
Any resources you need me to get the ball rolling on?
Give us a couple hours. Might be able to tell you then.
Okay. Anything I can do for you guys? Sounds like you're the three of you are working together all right.
Yes, it seems to be going pretty well. And you're on speaker, right? Right? I mean, you're assuming.
I don't know. Did you put him on speaker?
Yes. Mhm.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's it's.
'Cause you asked if everyone there was anything you could do for anyone else. So I'm just assuming.
I mean, I figured if if I wasn't on speaker, you could just ask people if they're nearby. But speaker's fine.
Hey, Agent, you're on speaker, so the other team can.
I figured that out now. Thank you. Okay. Well, if you guys think of anything, you can call this number back. Just do like a reverse dial, and you can reach back out if you need anything.
Understood.
Just understand, balls take a little time to get rolling. So if you need something, sooner rather than later.
Okay. Right.
Where are you guys?
Did we leave the safe house already? I mean, were we still there, or are we still planning to leave to go?
I mean, he's like, while you guys are having your kidding, like getting ready and everything, is when he calls.
Okay.
So
Well,
you
I'm
are
not
still
gonna-
there.
Okay, well, we're not going to let on that we're at a safe house.
We're investigating some of the potential housing of some of the missing individuals at an apartment complex.
Yeah, it's just the something's going on with the phone signal. Lost track of you
Weird.
guys. Yeah. Okay, well, if you guys get in any trouble or anything, reach back out, and we'll get to you as quickly as we can.
Right. Understood.
All right. Anything else I need to know about? Any buildings burned down?
Not yet.
Anybody killed? Anything?
It's
Not
early.
yet.
It's early, but not yet.
Okay. All right, sounds good. Yeah, then I'll let you go, and good work.
Thanks.
And he hangs up.
Yep.
Can all of you give me an idea roll?
What roll?
So there will be like a percentage next to idea, or int next to int. Sorry,
Oh, int. Okay.
Thank
Oh.
you.
I said idea. That's in theory like your idea roll. It's like you
I'm
have like a
still not
brain
seeing
moment.
it. Why am I not seeing it?
So like next to your
Oh, it's on the other sheet.
Yep.
Oh my god, by the skin of my teeth, I got a success.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Saturn and Dr. Carter, you both kind of put two and two together. Obviously, with the phone that he's given you, he can track you guys, but something about where you are, he has no idea where you are.
Ah,
He didn't seem, and I'll give you guys this, even though your human is dog shit for all of you. Nothing about like the conversation he had seemed like the explanation you gave wasn't believable.
Okay.
Like just the idea that you were just somewhere, it was just like, oh, signal went, whatever. But yeah, he is tracking you and cannot track you here.
interesting.
I figured he's not able to track much. We do. He couldn't. I'm sure he couldn't track us at Seventh Sun either.
This
That's
would
a good question.
be-
But he didn't mention that because you would think if they are tracking us, I mean, that's a good observation on your part. That if they are tracking us continuously, then my being inside that building, and since you guys couldn't get anything, he should have noticed the lack of information too. But he didn't say anything about it.
I mean, since it was only one of us missing, he might have just thought it was a blip. I don't know. Maybe the
Hmm.
phone's turned off or died.
Maybe. But he just called me and it's fine.
But that was yesterday, or that was today. We
Hmm.
charged it overnight.
That's curious thing though. If they were tracking us, the three of us have phones. Accordingly to our data, the only one that had a problem with the signal is exactly Doyle.
Mhm.
Why would they call his phone? Something's not adding up.
I mean, I figured it was because he's the one with experience in this. Regardless, I don't think there's anything we can do about it right now anyway. I think that
Yeah.
since the girl's been kidnapped, I think we should hurry.
Mhm.
Yeah, let's prevent some weird brain surgery from happening.
Now, it didn't seem to me like he thought anything was up calling us, other than the fact that the signal seemed to be a little strange. But did you guys think maybe he caught on to anything? Because I mean, being in the safe house wasn't exactly on the schedule he put out for us.
I mean, he didn't put a schedule out for us. He told us
No.
to figure it out. He didn't tell us anything.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I don't think he suspects anything yet. I think if we're in too many places where the signal doesn't show up, he'll suspect. I think that if we don't start telling him things, then he'll suspect. I do wonder, I had the thought as he asked if we had any information on timing.
Mhm.
If we told him about the event, it might tie up, it would only lead to potentially A, more protection for us, B, a bigger distraction at the event, just
Mhm.
because there's more stuff going on,
Mm-hmm.
and C, maybe they'll kind of be focused more on each other than us.
You know,
It's
um,
sleeping between the cracks, you mean?
you know that. But just before we go into the Seventh Sun building, maybe we could call him to update him with the information that, hey, we're going into this site to check out some things. Maybe we could use some backup, and in the chaos of like agents showing up, that we can use that to steal as many of the different samples of things we can.
I like that.
But wouldn't that make everyone in the Seventh Sun especially wary? We
Mhm.
wouldn't have a second chance of entering.
Right.
I mean, I think if they notice something's missing anyway, they're going to be wary, regardless of whether they had a
One
raid
is
on
a
them or
cup.
not.
One's a cup of water that's missing.
Well, you enjoy going through records. You don't think they have something to track that?
I'm very good with my job, but yeah,
We met you with a black bag over your head.
they don't. The government doesn't do that if you're not that good with their job.
If you were that good, how would they have found you to put the black bag on your head?
I'm not gonna make the same mistake twice, okay? But
You
fair.
didn't know you made a mistake until I just told you.
Look, I'm sorry, I did. But regardless, we can maybe see about the government going inside there and tracking things. I, for one, think it's best to do that. Push off the nuclear button as soon as we are ready to disrupt the ritual. But honestly, if we can prevent it from happening in the first place, I don't see why not.
I mean, here's the thing too. But to think about this. The ritual will probably happen regardless of whether it's publicly facing with the seventh sun or not.
Mhm.
If we send off too many alarm bells with the seventh sun, they'll move it. They'll hide it.
Okay.
There's no guarantee that's even being taking place in there.
Right? So if we spook them too much, we run the risk of all the information we've already gathered becoming useless.
Swatting, however, is going to spook them.
Exactly. So I'm saying I'm agreeing with you, Saturn. I think we save that.
Yeah.
Right.
We save that. We try and gather information for ourselves. But then, when we get the proper location, confirm if it's there or if it's anywhere else. Then we decide to put the ball rolling.
They'll need time, like they said.
I agree with this.
Okay. So I guess we're going in.
You guys get
We're going
your
in.
supplies together. Like I said, assuming competence, you'll have, anything you can think of, within reason. And so, yeah, how are you guys going to the info center?
So I think that we all go in together. Agent Doyle introduces us. I explain I mean, do I explain him with SETI? Is that too obvious, even though it's the truth?
Well-
And that we have interest in their organization and potential providing funding? or developing a relationship.
I mean, the best lie is the one that has truth sprinkled in, right?
I won't name the organization. I don't want to get.
Yeah.
Just admit that this is something you've done for a really long time and that you're really interested in it. And that
Yeah.
it really caught your interest when I told you about it.
Yeah. Talk about cornfields or something.
She looks aghast at what you just said. Okay, so I think that's what we're gonna do.
Okay. And so very much like when you went in the first time, Luther, people are kind of all around. There's like a like 30-ish or so people. Um, everyone's in like these little groups. Um, and there's pamphlets like all along this counter, different like conspiracy theories, different like alien things. You see the pamphlet that was given to you,
Do I
and then
see
go ahead.
go ahead. You go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say you see there's like a table with like refreshments, and it's all like packaged things. So it doesn't look like anything is like open. But it's just like it's things that's like easy to just kind of like pick up, like nibble on, like little bottles of water, things that are made that you can eat like here, or you can take them with you. And you see people taking like coming in and out, and they're taking the food and the little bottles of water with them. Like they're not stopping them from taking it.
Okay. Is Avery had given me a glass of water when I was there.
He
Is there
gave you a
anything?
bottle.
Oh, okay. I thought it was just a glass. Okay.
If I said glass, I remember it being a bottle.
Okay.
It was
That's fine.
the intent was it was a bottle.
Okay. A commercially packaged bottle.
Mhm. Yeah,
Okay.
it was sealed.
Well, might have been resealed. Okay. Do I see Avery or Nestor?
So you never saw Nestor.
Damn it.
So you wouldn't know who he was. But you do see Avery. And you see him, he's talking with a few people. And like mid conversation, he kind of like looks, notices you, and just kind of gives you one of those like acknowledging that he sees you and that he remembers you, but he's in the middle of a conversation.
Okay. We won't
So
approach it just yet.
yeah, he has clocked that you are there and that he recognizes you and remembers you.
Okay. All right. And I just turned to and say, okay, that's Avery. That's who I met here.
I see.
And this is like nondescript, like imagine like yeah, middle age guy, like short, blonde hair, very like on the outside looks very very like approachable, like he's very outgoing. But yeah, he's holding conversations, and you can kind of see him like looking around. And given what you recognize about like how he's interacting with people, you can clock a few different people kind of like throughout the groups who seem to be playing a very similar role.
Okay.
Kind of like talking about the info center, talking about the temple. You hear a couple um mentions of the gathering tomorrow night. And obviously people are mentioning the sightings, which has kind of like stirred up a lot of interest. You hear like little buzzing about all that.
Caroline's gonna go and be like a little kid and pick up every single pamphlet.
Okay.
like version of it,
Okay.
Yeah.
and start flipping through them.
Yeah, and you see. I mean, you have probably experienced on some tangential, like some fringe of all of these you're familiar with. Like nothing here like strikes you as new or surprising. It's kind of one of those anybody and everybody who's got a theory, who's in the area, has a pamphlet to share their ideas and like share information. They're all here. Some are theories that you may agree with. Some are theories you almost certainly don't agree with. But nothing about like the pamphlets that you read are like nothing jumps out at you. You see the pamphlet that Luther got that talks about the gathering at the temple in Manorville.
Okay. I do
And then
believe that.
and then people are
Mm.
eating and drinking the snacks that are provided.
I do believe that one of the preparations Saturn has made is probably downloading a lot of conspiracy theories documents and things like that into his computer. And so he goes around, computer in hand, trying to talk with people, show photos and things like that, to try and discuss with them about conspiracy theories and things like that,
Okay.
showing documents and things like just to kind of mask his attempts at breaking into the system as best as he can.
Which laptop are you using?
Oh, the big one.
The one you got from the safe house?
Yes, the one that
Okay.
can be tracked to me, yes.
Okay. No. So, like specifically, which one are you using? Are you using
Oh, yes.
your
No,
personal
no.
laptop or
The
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 one-
one?
really nice high tech one.
The really nice high-tech one that's not mine, but now is.
Okay. Okay. Can you give me a power roll?
Willpower. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So next to your power, there'll be a button
Yes.
to roll.
Let's see if I can do that.
You feel like a tickle in your head. But you don't get the same like queasy feeling. But it's enough to where the best way I can describe it is you ever get those like random like electric shocks where it almost feels like just something just like tapped a nerve, but it wasn't like it was like pain or anything. It was just like a really quick, instantaneous kind of like yeah. So it's like definitely enough to like give you a shiver. You feel that, but everything else is fine.
Okay. Noted. That was weird. And I'll try to keep on the mission, but having that in mind, see if anyone has some sort of reaction around me. Now that I know that's a feeling that people can have here.
I did tell you all yesterday that I felt something, right? So you do remember that, all right?
It's even more reason to keep an eye out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you mention this to either of the two of them? Or are
Not at
you
this
just
moment.
off doing your okay. So you're off doing your rounds. What are the other two of you doing?
So she's gathering the pamphlets. She's probably gonna go grab one of the snacks too, because I imagine they're probably close to all the pamphlets, just with how things are typically laid up. So she's gonna grab one of those. And she's gonna go up and talk to someone.
Okay.
Who works there.
Okay.
Actually, no, she's gonna go get Saturn first, and then she's gonna bring Saturn to talk with someone.
Okay. What is Luther doing?
I'm kind of hanging with Agent Carter, but when she goes I'm going to go to the table with snacks too and pocket one of the bottles of water just to
Okay.
make sure we have one.
Okay. And then about this moment, Avery kind of branches off from the little group nearby, comes over, is like, Luther was it?
Yes, Avery. Good to see
Hey,
you again.
good. Hey, I'm glad to see you back. Glad we didn't scare you away. You feeling okay? You feeling better?
I am indeed.
Awesome. Glad to hear it.
I brought a couple friends with me. They're just around looking at all the information out around.
Awesome. Yeah, like all these sightings over the last year or so. It's because just like we've gotten more attention than we could ever hope for. So yeah, it's been a hectic year. It kind of comes in waves. It's always like the end
Right.
of the month or whatever. But um, yeah, no, it's good to see people actually like not just dismissing us like we're lunatics. So
Hi, I'm Carolyn.
Yes, this is
oh,
my friend Carolyn.
hi Carolyn, Avery. Yeah, I met Luther yesterday. He was in here. I'm glad. Are you gonna come to the gathering tomorrow?
Yeah, that's actually why I wanted to stop by today. I don't think Luther mentioned us much, but we're very interested in even being involved in the event. My day job actually involves this sort of thing. And so I'm typically in California, but I'm here in New York for a while and wanted to come see if I could help since I learned about it.
You see Avery kind of like look around, and then just kind of like lean a little bit closer, not like in a like suspect like creep kind of way, but more like one of those conspiratorial kind of like lean in and goes, "Are you a true believer?"
Yeah.
And then he just kind of like lean backs and then just like throws his hand up for like a high five, which is probably completely not the thing that Carolyn would ever do, but the guy still does it.
She puts her hand up and is like, eh.
So he'll bring his hand down, do the high five. It was like, it's great. It's great to see somebody who isn't just brought in for like the newfangled, this is what everyone's talking about. It's like it's good to see people come in who actually believe.
I'm definitely more of a believer than Luther, even, I'd say.
But I mean, I'd be willing to help too with if there's something anything kind of help you guys need for the event. I mean, my day job's more security related, but I don't know what I could do if anything to help you on that.
I mean, I think we've got. I mean, I don't know. It was just gathering of like-minded individuals. I don't know how much security we're gonna need,
Right.
I
but
mean, you asked if we were true believers. Do you get people who aren't coming in a lot?
yeah. But I mean, they mostly just leave us alone. Just
Okay, well, I'm just made the offer. If you don't need it, that's fine. But if you do, just say so.
I mean, we're always looking for volunteers. Let me you know what? Hang tight. Let me go see if I can find. I know we've got like a volunteer sheet somewhere around here. Let me
Oh, I
go
was
see if
hoping we
I
could
can.
actually talk to someone too.
Like who?
Someone,
I mean, you're talking to me, and I'm one of the
I guess, more
representatives.
on the businessy side of things.
Oh, okay. Well,
And I guess management, I don't know how you refer to it here.
well,
Like I said, this is my day job and I'm not here for very long, so I would love to help as much as I can and use my special expertise.
okay. Um, well, Nestor's not here. But I could probably introduce you to Steven. Steven could probably, you know, get like your contact info, maybe get you like info for somebody. Let me see if I can get see if I can grab one of his cards, see if I can find the um volunteer sheet for Luther here and see if I can help both you guys out at the same time. Just give me 1 second. and he goes off.
Okay, as soon as he goes off, Saturn goes in. And he simply stops by and goes, making my rounds around here.
Mhm.
Felt a little thing,
What'd you feel?
tingling.
It's like something pushing on your head.
Not as,
Mm.
not
We're
as
gonna-
much.
If you're gonna do something, you should do it soon. I don't think we're gonna get much further.
All right, I'll try and go to the bathroom real quick. He gives a wink and goes into the bathroom because that's the best place to do things quickly but alone.
So yeah, so you make it, and it's one of those like small rec center bathrooms. If there's like a few stalls, few urinals. So there's an open stall, so you can go in, do your
Yeah.
your business that's not your business. Um,
Oh yeah.
and so we'll have you doing that. Can you, Carolyn, roll me a power roll?
Sure. You just said where it was. Found it.
It's next to willpower.
Oh shit! I failed.
So you feel something a little bit closer to the way Luther explained it, where it's like a pressure in your head, like something's pushing, and then you start feeling like queasy.
You okay, Carolyn?
I just
Um,
feel a little bit lightheaded.
Okay. Right. That's how I felt. Do we notice anyone in particular looking at us or paying attention to us?
Let me see. This one I'm definitely gonna have you roll for. Do a search, unless you think you've got something better.
Okay, let's see. Search. It's not great, but
Yeah, I think that's. Oh, hey, that was a pass though.
Hell yeah.
You don't see anybody. Nobody is paying attention to you.
Do we see where Avery went? Is he talking to anybody?
So he stepped out.
Oh, so he's like in an entirely different room now.
Yeah. Yeah, he went off to, like, you would guess based off like logical construction, as he probably went back to like some administrative office, just looking for information. But he after like a couple of minutes, he comes back out, hands you a business card, and it says Stephen Alsip. So Stephen is Steven, and then last name is Alsip. This is like the, never know like what to refer to him as, but he's essentially like the number two.
Okay.
But he's usually the guy you can go to if you want to talk to something that's a little more high level. If you can't get a hold of Nestor. And remind me, what was the other thing you guys had him asking or looking for?
the volunteer sheet for Luther.
Yes. So he brings you the volunteer sheet. It's like, so we've got openings for like greeters. I got coat check, but that's kind of like, I don't know if that's like what you're talking about with like security. Otherwise, there's, yeah, I mean, it's mostly just kind of like greeters. There's this big like walkway from when you get out to the temple. It's mainly just kind of like guiding people.
See, I was thinking my specialty is more like just mixing in with the crowd and being ready, just in case someone gets unruly or needs to be helped out.
So let's put you down. I don't
I
even know
think
what
greeter makes sense. I mean, you're
Yeah.
supposed to make people feel welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I would put you down for greeter.
All right. That's cool. All right.
And then if something else comes up, then and it seems more up your alley or whatever, go with that.
All right.
So he puts.
I'd love to be able to help.
I'll shoot Steven an email, but I would love to help be a greeter too.
Okay. I mean, he offers you the like, hey, if you guys want to, and more the merrier.
I mean,
Hey,
if it's helpful. I mean,
I have a question.
Yeah,
Do you
what's
ever
going on?
get like weird activity here?
What do you mean?
I felt like a weird nausea head thing, and Luther was mentioning it how he felt it yesterday, and I was just wondering if that was like a common thing here.
I mean, it's not unheard of, but I mean, this is also, it's. I don't know if it's just like some sort of like sensitivity to like electro signals or.
Well, do you guys have any like really high power electric cables going through? Kind of some EM effect that might affect people.
I thought we were all believers here.
There might be. I mean, that's a good question. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, we don't really get a lot of like, complaints about it. So just, I mean, I guess I don't really know, but it's definitely something we can look into. I mean, who knows? Maybe with all of the activity that's going on, it's like maybe it's maybe
you caught someone's notice.
And you see him kind of like perk up a little bit, and he's just maybe so cool.
And she like does the enthusiastic high five now.
Oh, and he immediately just like bam, like, and yeah, I mean, and he, and he'll go over to the like the refreshment table and grab like a couple like packaged little things, a little bottle of water can book over. It's like, I offered Luther yesterday and he didn't take me up on it.
She like shows one that she already grabbed.
Perfect. Just, maybe have a bite to eat, give yourself a second, sit down whenever you're ready. Stay as long as you want, leave whenever you want, it's nobody's forced to be here.
I mean, there's the gathering tomorrow, but you guys have anything planned for today, or is it just mostly meet and greet?
I mean, anything today is mainly just going to be like preparation for tomorrow, but there's really like a lot of it's just meet and greet stuff today, just kind of spreading the word, and then tomorrow's the big day.
If we're going to be coming to help with the greeting, like we're the greeters, are you going to have an orientation just before the thing, like just so we know what to say? And
so so I know tomorrow, I think I told you yesterday, kind of go like at dusk. So maybe come like half an hour before that.
Okay.
Should be more than enough time just to kind of familiarize. Like it's not like a complicated setup, but
no, I just want to make sure
it should be enough to give you all the info you need. Like I said, mainly what we'll use you for, at least, first timer, is just kind of like familiarize you with the path, and then just kind of have you kind of like patrolling that if you want.
Making sure we're putting the best face forward.
No, absolutely. I appreciate it. I always appreciate, anybody is trying to help the cause.
Okay, well, I think we might head out soon-ish.
Okay.
Well, I'm definitely gonna sit down, but probably won't stick around too much longer just so I can go rest in the hotel room.
Okay. Oh, sounds good. Like I said, take your time. I was just no rush, and we're gonna be here pretty much all day. So, like,
right. Yeah. Well, great to see you again, Avery.
Yeah, it's good to see you too, Luther, and it's good to meet you, Carolyn. And I'll see you both tomorrow.
Sounds great. All right.
Awesome. Back to Saturn.
It's a me. Yeah, so Saturn is going to try, and for as long as he has been here, he has been trying to crack the system, crack the Wi-Fi, things like that, to get a hold at whatever is being the the signal jammer and trying to get a way to get inside without disrupting it.
Mhm.
So it's not as easily noticeable that something's amiss.
So, funny you mention that. You would think, given everything you know and everything you've experienced up to this point, that it would be extremely difficult for you to do this. However, it's exactly the opposite. Whatever's going on with this computer that you picked up seems to be able to just bypass whatever they've got that's blocking their system. So all of the issues you had with the website being encrypted, you make it in like it's nothing. Like it's not like it's opening up, but it's mainly just like the door isn't locked, you just open the door.
Well, we don't have much time, and Saturn doesn't know what's happening with this computer, so he doesn't know how long that's happening. So he's gonna seize the moment.
Okay.
Let's
So what are
grab
you
info.
Okay. So what are you trying to get?
Honestly,
Mhm.
everything I can put my hands into that's not going to completely set up an alarm. So he's
Okay.
gonna be careful enough to guarantee that's not completely that the information isn't too well protected
Yeah,
to
I
a
gotcha.
point that it would be a problem to try and get through because they are in a limited time. But he's going to try and download as much evidence as possible.
Okay. So, you are going to get something. So even if you fail this, it's not going to count against you. Roll your computer science. I want to see what you get.
Let's go. Ooh, success.
Okay, so that's like under a third. Okay. Um, so you get like a lot. So you get um a map of the temple. Um, so you have like a complete layout of the temple. You've also got like a layout, essentially like a map of for lack of a better word, the compound. Um, so you know essentially how everything is set up for where the ritual will be. Um,
Nice.
you do know that whatever you are not able to find out what the ritual is. However, you do know that the intent is that tomorrow night is the last one.
Okay, confirmation, right?
You know that Nestor will be there.
Okay.
You know that um I'll give you something else, but I immediately don't know what that is. I got to think about that one.
Okay.
So we'll just say that it's information you haven't quite made it through yet. But the stuff that
Yeah.
immediately you know about, unless do one of the two of you have an idea of something that might be useful?
Potentially info on the drug or information on the aliens in general.
So you don't find anything specifically about like any chemical or substance or anything, but you do find mentionings of um the aliens, which get referred to in their computer system as Greys.
Oh.
Greys.
Mm-hmm.
And you hear or you see them constantly referring to some group of people as guests. But it doesn't go into any detail about who the guests are,
I
or
see.
any other like solid details about the Greys other than logical, step with everything that it probably means, like the stereotypical big-headed, big-eyed gray aliens.
Okay, I suppose no images of the Greys,
No,
right?
no. So there's no images of that. There's no again. So there's no info on um, any sort of like chemical or drug. Nothing.
Okay.
Like
No,
there.
any like biology information on Greys or just like
No,
think this
no,
okay,
nothing in the system.
cool.
And then yeah.
Nothing.
So I mean, it the word guest comes up a bunch. It could be referring to um like one group of individuals. It could be, used interchangeably.
Mm-hmm.
But it definitely seems like the guests that they're mentioning is in conjunction with all of the disappearances. So again, don't know if that means the aliens, don't know if that's people who've been abducted, people who are missing.
Mm.
Did
But
they
you don't know
find
any of
the?
that.
Is there any mention of the names of the people who have been missing?
So if you look eventually through that list or through like there, you will find um after pouring through the information, which this laptop seems to do incredibly fast, um, you find all of the names and you find the name of the girl who went missing today.
Okay.
And it seems they all at some point have signed up as volunteers.
Oops.
Um, in different capacities.
Okay.
But they have been through this center at some point, every single one of them.
Okay. Okay. Good to know. So, one last information.
Okay.
Do I find anything about the security protocols and the security details, people, the amount of security that is here?
You absolutely find it, and the information is there is nothing. No, zero
Mhm.
security, zero security measures, zero any kind of concern. Like, as far as you can tell, everything you've gotten of all the things they're worried about, security seems to not be one.
That is the most concerning thing he has ever read in this mission. Okay, so he tried to cover his track as best as he can before leaving.
Oh yeah, no, and again, so it's the best way I can describe it is any of those like time travel sort of things where it's just like the gateway opens and then the gateway closes and there's no sign. You are 100% convinced your skill plus this laptop, they don't know you got what you got.
Perfect. So as soon as we finished, Saturn is gonna leave, and
Can I ask one more thing?
Sure.
Is there any information on like Nestor himself or like a picture?
Yeah. There's just like what do you call it? Like kind of like just one of those, it's almost like a working document, like it's a draft. That's what I'm thinking, draft.
mhm.
Of sort of um like an intro to him. And so, the best way I can describe it is if you ever go to like a church or whatever, and it's like, oh, this is the pastor, and this is like the picture of the guy. It's kind of that feel, but it's like they were thinking about doing it and then decided not to.
I see.
But there is a picture of him.
Okay.
Um, and once you see the picture, um, none of you recognize who he is. Like you
All
haven't
right.
seen him. Um, I will post a picture of him in the Discord. But you now know what he looks like.
Perfect. Oh, yeah. Saturn's gonna leave and he's gonna pass through the food table, grab a few of the things to be his way to go food, kinda do a little social with the people that he's talked to, like thanking them for the whole thing, keep the spirit alive, never believe what the government say, yada yada yada, and then leave.
Okay. And yeah, you guys make it out without any sort of, issue. Avery, when he sees you leave, he'll kind of do one of those like, wave. He's seen Luther 2 days in a row, so they're practically best friends at this point. And he found someone who believes almost as much as he does, with Carolyn. So
Almost.
he's almost. And so he like waves to both of you. You guys make it out, no issues.
Saturn, did you find anything at all?
Let's leave. And Saturn just goes to the car.
Yeah, no, have this conversation.
Yeah, as soon as we are out of the range, Saturn goes, so I kind of found everything.
Really? Like what? What's going on?
Security details, the blueprint of the place, the blueprint of where the ritual is gonna take place. I found info about that priest guy. I found info about the aliens. I found info about the kidnapped people, and
Mister? Anything on him?
No, I'm not sure if I search him, but
You
there's
found
it.
there's information in the stuff that you got together on Nestor, and you would have, yeah, it's in
Yeah.
there.
Oh, yeah. That Nestor. Sorry, Nestor.
Wait,
That was specifically the guy. Found a lot of things.
but you said security details.
Yeah.
Avery was like, "Oh no, we don't need anything like that." But
Yeah, there is no security whatsoever.
wait, all public events,
None.
people discuss security, even to minimal
There's
extent.
nothing.
Nothing at all.
Not a single taser.
That's a little suspicious.
That's the most concerning thing.
I mean, I think at this point we might be able to safely say that I think that this group's just being taken advantage of. Like, it's a cult of people who are probably easily manipulated by how easily you've become Avery's best friend,
Yeah.
Luther.
Yeah, he does seem to like me. Like, wow, that was quick.
So I feel like they're just being taken advantage of.
You useful idiots.
Exactly. If I am to believe all the details that I found, and by the way, this computer, absolutely unstoppable machine. Tear through the protections like hot butter through a knife. I swapped that. Anyway, the problem is, if I am to believe all this, we have a real shot at stopping this because they don't have enough protection. The only thing they have in their way that we do not have any way to account for is the grace, which
The
might be a
only
little
thing.
yeah, it might be a little too much now that I think about it.
Okay.
But we gotta comb through everything, find as much info as we can, decide the next step.
Something leaps out at me though, since they seem completely unconcerned with security. Yet why do they have the surveillance, the scrambling stuff that prevents anything going out from that building?
Maybe they're not concerned about surveillance because everybody who goes is eating the food.
See, I didn't feel anything like you described earlier, Doyle. I
felt it too.
You felt it as well. Now that's a little more concerning. I only felt a little tingling in my mind, that's all. It was uncomfortable, sure, but nothing close to anything that you said.
Hmm.
We should head back to that safe house and
Yeah, run some
do
tests.
as many tests as possible with the two of you as well,
Agreed.
and me to have the control.
And then, so yeah, so you guys head back to the safe house, and probably like the majority of the rest of the evening would be just taking like getting the samples, running the tests, like just kind of like making sure and then kind of going over and over. I'm not even gonna make you roll. The You find something in everything. All of the food samples you got, all of the water samples you got. But this is something that you have never seen or heard of um, in all of your years of academic research and science. Like, this isn't even stuff that there's like theories about. Um,
So in that case, what she's gonna do is she's gonna do what scientists do. As long as she can, she's gonna experiment until she finds something that can like destroy it. That's like not gonna destroy a human.
okay.
Defer to you on this, because you're the scientist. But do you think we should bring in any backup help from Ashton?
We certainly can. I think that
I mean, if they
we
have better
tell them.
resources than just what we have here.
I don't think they're gonna know anything more than I do on this. More people, sure.
Yeah.
But then again, do we want them to have a hold of this?
Well, yeah, there's the question. I mean, who do we tell about this, if anyone? We can't really, not sure whether we can trust any of them.
Let me see how far I can get
Okay.
tonight into tomorrow morning, and then if we need help tomorrow, we'll get help.
Okay.
While you're doing that, Doyle,
Yeah.
why don't we study these maps, find if they are having a guest room to try and see wherever this girl is.
Okay.
And most importantly, find routes to get out.
Yes.
And think of a way
Agreed.
that's a plausible distraction too.
Yeah.
Or a way to just end the event.
Let's try that.
Okay.
Oh, also look for places that have like high amount or that are capable of storing high amounts of electronics.
Mm-hmm. Try and cause a fire.
Well, not even that. Just like if they're doing something with like signals, something that could store tech like this.
Mm-hmm.
Anything.
Okay. And that's what I do believe Saturn and Doyle are going to do.
And then while the three of you are working into the evening on your different projects, you will end session 2 here. And I want to say thank you. Thank you for coming along on this wild ride with me and engaging in my batshit. I appreciate it. Join us on the Discord, where we do casting for all of these fun games. And sorry, I'm still getting used to the whole like talking about everything and the posting all of the links and stuff. So go to the Discord. We do Zoom hangouts occasionally, do casting calls, just shoot the shit with each other in the community. If you want to find back episodes of stuff, you can go to YouTube. There's the McStabber Studios, which has all of like the Windy City vampire stuff. This is where Delta Green goes. If you want to go to see any of Tiss's stuff, like London Esoteric Society and Ishvale, you can hop over to hers. Urian will be in that. New season's coming up soonish.
October 8th.
Okay, so be ready. Be prepared. If you want to buy any merch, link is in there. Just remember, you have to sign up and prove to them that you're an adult, because curse words and delicate people. Friends of the channel, one of which is in here with us, Red. Anything going on with you?
I'm hopefully streaming this Sunday.
Okay.
Not sure the time yet.
Fingers crossed. If you're on the Discord, notifications go when anyone on the list goes live. What was the next one? If you want to show any sort of support, you can do your Prime membership or any regular memberships here. We always love those. Any donations go to the players, because they have subjected themselves to my constant promise of murder and not delivering on any of it. But episode 3 is a bitch. And as far as streams for the next week, on tomorrow we have Kansas City. Yep. And then on Saturday we have Hidden City. And then on Wednesday next week, the 29th, is Changeling. Then back here for the third and final episode of this Delta Green shenanigan. And Shanky, I'll practically do it for free, but that's completely underselling everything. I'll do it for free next week. But thank you for coming out and staying with us. I appreciate all of you. Please remember, it is a awful world right now. A lot of people are miserable and being made miserable. Be kind to each other. Be kind to yourself. And fuck fascists. Oh, and thank you for reminding me, Red. Dit doesn't want to. It's need help. Ha ha ha. I totally forgot it. Thank you, Shanky. With everything that's going on, if you need help, in chat right now is a bunch of text, phone numbers. If you're not in the US, anywhere in the world, there's a website that'll help you find resources close to you. Remember, especially now, it's okay not to be okay. Find your support system, reach out to them. All of us here love you and value you. You have every right to exist, regardless of what people are trying to tell you. I love you. And I want you to be here tomorrow and the next day. But get help if you need help, and it's okay not to be okay. I see a therapist. I have no problem saying that. More people need to be open about it. Get vaccines while you still can, because God knows when they're going to fuck with those next. And then, yeah, just try to spread positivity in the world where you can, because we need it. And with that, love you all. Have a good night.